Verse 21 of chapter 18 continues. And the one angel who was inherently strong lifted, or he took up, a stone as a large millstone. You know, a millstone is a stone that was used for grinding grain. It would have been very heavy. So the angel who was inherently strong lifted the large millstone, and he cast it into the sea, saying, in this manner with impetus. So in a rushing onset of motion, Babylon, the great city, will be thrown or cast and would never be found. Here's that double negative, never. Babylon would not ever be found. It would not at any time be located again from this point in time onwards. It would still have a location on earth. Never. It would not be located anymore from this time forward. And the sound of what? Of players, lyre players, or those who play stringed instruments as harps, guitars, lutes, lyres. So the lyre players and the musicians, people who play instruments while singing, singers of psalms, and pipers, people who play the pipe or the flute. What may never yet be heard in you. Not any more would any one of the players, the lyre players, or the musicians, or the trumpeters would not make a sound ever be heard in Babylon again. And all or every craftsman of every craft, every skilled worker, expert people in craftsmanship, technicians, would never be found in you in Babylon again. And a sound of a mill from turning a millstone would never be heard in you. It wouldn't be making grain so as to produce bread or food. Would never be heard in you. And a light of a lamp would never yet shine in you, Babylon. And a sound of a bridegroom and a bride, which should be joyful, would never yet be heard in you, because your merchants were continuing the great men of the earth, because within the cause and sphere of action of your sorceries. What is sorcery? Sorcery is the preparation and use of medicines or drugs, potions, poisons, like pharmacy, but in the bad sense. It's the bad sense of those magical arts of enchantments, sorcery, incantations, spells, witchcraft, wizardry. All of that comes from the devil. All sorcery originates from the devil. Because within the cause and sphere of action of your sorcery, all the nations were caused to wander. Every nation, including Israel, Judah, have already been caused to err. They did not stay in the right place where God wanted them to be as regards their behavior towards the only true God and towards the Lord Jesus Christ. Instead, they wandered away, they erred, they were led astray because of the sorcery of Babylon. And within the cause and sphere of action of Babylon, the blood of the prophets and holy people was found. Babylon was responsible for shedding the blood of God's prophets and sanctified people, emphatically to the degree that it is referring to, who were slaughtered. Babylon caused the slaughter of all the prophets and holy people, slaughtered on earth. They have no life in them. They remain dead, of course, until the time of resurrection. They were slaughtered. Now let's review a little. Revelation chapter 18, verse 24, completes the details provided in chapters 17 and 18 that we have been reading regarding the quick and final destruction of the woman Babylon, with corresponding effects on her daughter female fornicators, including many cities on the earth, and the current Jerusalem on earth, which control various systems of finance, trade, stock exchanges, promoting false religions, culture, values, those things that are against the only true God. And of course, Babylon, with the corresponding female fornicator cities of the earth, even today, have corresponding effects on the rest of those living on earth. This, of course, will culminate in what we're reading about here in chapters 17 and 18. Now, during the present time, as we await the return of the Lord Jesus Christ to gather all holy people, Christians who have the Spirit of Christ in us, He will gather us away, taking us away from the earth. The physical city of Babylon, previously known as Babel, in Genesis chapter 10 and 11, with her effects on those willing to adhere to her abominations, using various sorceries and methods, has not yet been totally destroyed. But this will occur at a future time, in accordance with what is written. God has already prophesied regarding this, and it will come to pass. At the time of its destruction, it will then, from that time forward, never be rebuilt. Now, Revelation chapter 16, verse 1 through 18:24 records the implementation of the third woe on earth, following the seventh angel blowing his trumpet in Revelation 11, verse 15. We should note here that this is not the end of the wild animal or the devil. However, we will read about their end in Revelation chapters 19 and 20 in our next sessions. Also, the effects on the city of Jerusalem on earth at that future time that we're reading about will not be for her final destruction, as recorded in Revelations chapter 19 and 20. Plus, there will be a new city of Jerusalem, which will descend from God, from heaven, onto earth. And we're going to read about the New Jerusalem in Revelation chapters 21 and 22.